there, welcome to Gingerbread DIY. I'm Sarah. Thanks so much for joining me today. Today I'm teaming up again with my friend Jackie from Crafting in a Mimi's World. I've made 10 brand new gingerbread DIYs for the 2022 season and I can't wait to share them with you. So let's get started. To get started with our first DIY, I'm taking one of these little 1.5 inch circles that I get from Michael's. I gave it a base coat of Waverly chalk paint in white, and then I went in with a pencil and just drew in my peppermint stripes. Now I'm going to go in with the Waverly chalk paint in crimson and a fine detail brush, and I'm just going to paint in every other area in red to create that cute little peppermint look. I'm going to use 2 mini pom-poms here to create an adorable little mini earmuff for my gingerbread man. And the wood base of the gingerbread man came from 24 Hour Crafts. And if you haven't seen the first part of this video series, definitely go check it out. I'll link it up above. And in that video, I show you how I create the little faces and how I paint my gingerbread men. So if you are curious as to how I do that, definitely go check out that video. But I have just doubled up a little bit of this sparkly red pipe cleaner and twisted it together to create the headband part of the earmuffs. And then I just hot glued that little peppermint right to the front of my gingerbread man. Now I used some extreme glitter from Folk Art in the color Holographic to give my peppermint a little sparkle. And as you can see, he is sparkling up super cute. And here is a look at our super adorable little gingerbread man with the peppermint hanging on our Christmas tree. For ornament number 2, I am going to use one of these Dollar Tree wood cutouts. This is a little mug, of course, with a little bit of whipped cream on the top. It came out last fall and it was one of the 8 packs of DIY ornaments that Dollar Tree carries. I filled in the hole with a little bit of spackle and then gave the main part of my cup a coat of the Waverly chalk paint in the color hazelnut. I almost said nutmeg, but that's apple barrel. In the color hazelnut, and then of course colored in my whipped cream in white. Now I'm going in with a very light color of gray. This is an apple barrel color. I can't remember which color it is right off the top of my head, but I will leave everything I use in my description box down below. So if you're curious as to what colors I'm using, you can go down there and check it out. So I'm just going in with that gray and then going over it real light with a little bit of white just to soften it up. And then I'm going to use a darker brown color. This is the Folk Art multi-surface paint in the color burnt umber, I think. And I'm just adding a little bit of that. It's pretty watered down, so it will kind of blend in. And I'll just go around the whole entire outside of the mug just to give it a little more dimension and make it look like a little baked gingerbread cookie. And of course, I'm going to be using red and white as my main color scheme for my gingerbread projects today. So the handle of my little cup will be red. Once I get that all painted in, I do go in with a little bit of that darker brown color, mix it in with my red just to deepen it up a little bit, and then I add that deeper color right on the very outside rim of the mug. Again, it just adds a little bit of dimension. It's totally optional step here. You don't have to do it, but if you feel comfortable in your painting skills and want to try something a little different, go for it. If you don't like how it turns out, just paint over the top of it and it's fixed immediately. Now we're going to go in with a stylus and add some little white polka dots onto the handle of my mug here. And if you know me, you know I love these little polka dots, so you'll see them quite often in my projects. But if you don't like the polka dots, you can leave it plain, add some stripes, or whatever else fits your fancy. Then I thought I would give it a little sparkle, so I'm going to go in again with a Folk Art Extreme Glitter in the color Holographic, and I paint the handle and of course the whipped cream just to add a little bit of sparkle. And it's hard to see on camera, but in real life this just sparkles and shines so beautifully. I added a little bit of baker's twine to the back of my ornament here so that it will hang on the tree, and this is how it turned out. I love this little guy and I think he is so cute. For ornament number 3, I am using a wood cutout that I purchased from 24 Hour Crafts. I gave the main part of the ornament a coat of the Waverly chalk paint in white, and then I decided I wanted to go in with some stripes. So I'm using some washi tape to mark off some stripes that I'll paint in red. Now I have decided to go at a sort of an angle here for my ornament just to give it a little more character and movement. But if you want your stripes to go straight or horizontally, just mark them off accordingly with your washi tape. And of course, just make sure your paint is really dry before you put washi tape down, and press that washi tape down in really well with your fingers, and you shouldn't have any problems with a whole lot of bleeding. It does bleed sometimes just a little bit, but that's easily fixed with a little bit of paint. So I decided to go in first with a fine detail brush and the color that I was using to go around the ornament hanger at the top. And then I'll just go in with my tried and true makeup sponge, and I'll just dab that color into those areas that are white and paint them up with my Waverly chalk paint in crimson. While that's drying, we're gonna work on our little gingerbread man. I got this little gingerbread guy from a package that came from Hobby Lobby. So it was, I think, 9 different mini wood pieces that came in a package, and these little gingerbread men were part of it. So I gave him a base coat of the Waverly chalk paint in Hazelnut, and now I'm going to go in with my white Posca paint pen and just fill in all those little details. And on this one, the little details are kind of burnt in with like a wood burner, and so you just kind of follow those lines pretty easily, and he turns out really cute. So as you can see, I painted the top part of my ornament in the steel color from Waverly, and then went in with my white paint pen and added in some cute little details like polka dots on the red part and some little white marks on the silver part. For the hanger, I'm just using some red and white baker's twine. I picked up a big spool of this from the Dollar Tree, and I love using baker's twine for my gingerbread projects and ornaments, and these work really great. So I'm just going to do a lark's knot through the top of the ornament, and then add a little knot at the very top to close off the loop, and then I'll trim that off. Next, I'm going to create a very small little baker's twine bow, and I'm going to hot glue that just to the top of my ornament there. And I thought that that was a very cute little touch for my little ornament. And here's a look at our cute little ornament on the tree. I love the red and white stripes, and of course those polka dots just make me happy. For our 4th ornament, we're going to use one of these wood spools. I picked mine up off of Amazon, but you can get them from Michael's, Joann's, Hobby Lobby, any of those kinds of places. I gave it a base coat of the hazelnut color, and then of course painted on my adorable little gingerbread man face. Now I'm going to use some of this ribbon that I picked up from Costco, and I am going to cut off a length, and then I am going to pull the wire out of the side. So this is a wired ribbon, and I'm just going to kind of poke that ribbon or that wire up and then pull it right out. It comes out very easily, and we don't need that wire in there. So I'll do that to both sides. Now before you throw out your wire, use one of them to create a loop. So just go halfway down, create a loop, and then twist your ends together. And we are going to make ourselves a ribbon puller througher. I don't know what you would call this. a ribbon puller. I think that there's something similar for like beading, but that's kind of where I got my idea for this. And it utilizes a bit of that wire. So you're going to poke the end that is looped through your spool from top to bottom, and then you're going to pull your ribbon through the loop, and you can kind of see what I'm doing here. It goes off frame a little bit, but I do pull it back into frame here in just a second. But you're just gonna pull that ribbon about halfway through and then pull the wire back, and that will like help you pull that ribbon right through with the loop at the top. And then you just clip the wire off. Now do this part before you do your ribbon. It would be much easier that way. Actually, do a lot of the rest of the painting before you do the ribbon, but I kind of was thinking of this as I was going. So I ended up painting the top and bottom part of the spool with the crimson, and then I'm going to go in with my white Posca paint pen and add in those details. Now I know some of you have been asking where to get Posca paint pens. Amazon does carry them, but Michaels also does carry Posca paint pens, open stock, at least at my Michaels, so you can buy them individually. You don't have to buy a package of them, and they do carry these ultra fine ones, which I really enjoy for my projects. So a couple weeks ago they went on sale. I think they were 30% off of $3.99 or so. So that was a pretty good deal. So if you keep your eyes open at Michael's for those sales or use your 20% off coupon, they are a decent price. And they actually last quite a while. This is my second pen, but you guys know I use my pens a lot. And we're just going to trim off those ends at an angle. And here is our gingerbread spool man hanging on the tree. I think this one is adorable and I love it. For our fifth ornament, we are going to utilize one of these gingerbread men. I picked this one up again from 24 Hour Crafts, and here I am just showing you how I'm finishing up the little details. I painted on his face, and now I'm just using that white Posca paint pen to go in and add in his bits of frosting. And I'll just go around the very outside edge, do some dot dashes, and that just, to me, finishes up your gingerbread man. But it is a completely optional step and not necessary. But I do think it makes him look a little bit cuter. Now I'm going to add some baker's twine, and I am just going to hot glue that from one hand to the other, and I'm not making it super tight. I do want it to bend just a tiny bit because we're going to glue on some of these wood hearts from the Dollar Tree, 2 that I painted white and 1 that I painted red. And we're just going to glue that onto the baker's twine so it looks like our little gingerbread man is holding these 3 little hearts on like a banner maybe. We'll just trim off that edge. And this is already looking so cute, but I thought, you know what? I want to put the word joy on there, and I have this transfer sheet that I picked up from the Dollar Tree, and it just so happens that it has the word joy in it. So I'm going to cut each of the letters apart, and then I'll put each of those letters onto one of the hearts. And to finish this off, I thought that our red heart needed some white dashes around. So I'll do that with my paint pen. And then I will just add a hanger to the back by taking a loop of baker's twine and just hot gluing that to the back of our gingerbread man. Now, if you want to finish off each of your gingerbread projects, you can do so by adding a bit of felt or paper on the back, and that would just finish it up nicely. But this guy is so cute. All right, we are moving right along. So for our 6th ornament, I am using this heart cutout that I picked up from 24-Hour Crafts and one of these little gingerbread men from the Dollar Tree last Christmas season. And I'm just going to add in all those little details onto my gingerbread man. I made this guy a little bit different than some of the other ones I've done before of these miniature ones. And I really like how this guy turned out. So I did his face in black paint pen, and then I'm going to go in and add some cute little red rosy cheeks and some little red hearts for his buttons. And I'm just painting those on with a fine paintbrush. And then some little shine in his cheeks, and I think he just turns out so cute. Now I'm going to place him on my heart because I want to be able to see where I am adding my letters. And I'm just going to freehand the word cookies. So if you're not comfortable freehanding your letters, you can definitely print something out and then transfer it, or you could use stickers for this. The choice is yours, but I'm just going over my pencil lines with the paint pen. Now just keep in mind, if you're going to use a white paint pen over pencil, to keep your pencil lines nice and light. Otherwise you might pull in some of the gray pencil into your white and make it look just a little bit gray tinged. But if you keep it light, you shouldn't have a problem with that. So then I add a little heart, of course, for the eye, and then I'll add in some little dots on each of my letters just to make it look a little more cute. So then I'll just place my gingerbread man where he is going to go, and then I'm going to add 5 cents on the side. And then of course some dot dashes, and I paint some of that holographic extreme glitter from Folk Art on top of my gingerbread man, just to give him a little more sass and sparkle. Now for the hanger, I am going to add some of this red ribbon that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. I just recently found this and I thought it would be perfect for Christmas and gingerbread decor. So I'm going to use that here, but any ribbon you want to use, or baker's twine, however you want to hang it, would be perfectly fine here. But I thought that the ribbon kind of in a the shape of like an awareness ribbon on the back would be really cute here. And then I'm just going to trim up the ends so that he's nice and trimmed up and cute. And here is a look at how this ornament turned out. This actually is a dupe for a ornament that I found on Pinterest, but I think this guy is super cute. So let's talk about today's collaboration. I am joining my good friend Jackie from Crafting into Mimi's World. Today is Christmas in July. Let's Get Baked Part 2. We created 10 gingerbread DIYs 2 weeks ago, and now we're creating 10 more ornaments to share with you guys. I hope you enjoy today's video. Definitely go check out Jackie's channel if you've never seen her before. I will link her video and her channel in my description box down below. So now, of course, we have our 7th gingerbread ornament, and we have our gingerbread man from 24-Hour Crafts painted up. And then I have this heart that I had in my stash from Dollar Tree from Valentine's Day. Now, if you don't have some of these items like this heart on hand because you're not a hoarder like I am, definitely check out 24-Hour Crafts. They have a very lovely selection of wood crafts, and you can actually custom or ask them for custom things. So if there's something you want that you're not seeing, definitely reach out to them, and I think that they will be very accommodating and help you find or cut what you are looking for. So this little heart, I gave some big polka dots with little polka dots around them. I thought that was kind of a cute folksy look, and I just really liked how that turned out. And then of course I decided a little bow at the neck would be adorable, and then a baker's twine hanger for the back. And again, if you want to finish these off with a little bit of felt on the back, that would be perfect. But this simple little guy is just darling on my tree. For our 8th ornament, we are going to use some of these wood pieces from this bird feeder kit that you can pick up at the Dollar Tree in the kids section. I'm going to utilize the square, and then I'm going to use 2 of the long rectangle pieces. So basically, I am using a ruler here to figure out the middle of one of these rectangle pieces, and I'll create a dot on both ends and then run a line down the middle. And I'll do that to 2 of them, even though you'll see me do that to 4 of them. I only use 2 because we only need 4 pieces altogether. Now, if you don't have this particular kit, just use a square, and then you can also use like small popsicle sticks to create the frame. So I'm just using my utility knife to cut down the middle of these sticks. I'll run it down a couple of different times, and then get it to the point where it'll break easily, and it creates a very nice way to do that. So as you can see, I measured out how much I needed on each end and then just framed my little square, painted it in the hazelnut color, and then of course painted on our cute little gingerbread face. Now we're going to go in with our white paint pen and create all of the little details that bring these little gingerbread projects to life. So I'm going to add a couple of little dots into the eyes for some shine and sparkle, little dot and line on the nose, and some dot dashes onto the cheeks. Now I'm going to use my paint pen to create some quote-unquote frosting on the top and bottom of this ornament. And I am going over it a couple of times just to thicken up that line a little tiny bit. And I just love these paint pens. You could use these paint pens for every part of this project if you just have them in the colors that you want, other than like the big painting parts. But these small details like the eyes and nose, mouth, cheeks, you could get the paint pens in all these colors, and I think that anybody could create a very similar project with these similar results using these paint pens. They're just fabulous, and it's the ultra fine that I really enjoy. So now I wanted to add a little bow. So this is just a basic bow. I dovetailed the ends to make it extra cute, and now I'm going to put a little bow in her hair. And now I wanted to create a hanger for this little girl, and I decided that a ribbon in the same color as her bow would be a perfect hanger. So I'm just going to make a loop and hot glue it to the back. And here she is hanging on the tree, so festive and ready for Christmas. All right, so what is this, number 9, I think? Ornament number 9. I am going to use a candy cane wood cutout from 24 Hour Crafts, and I am going to give it a coat of the white Waverly chalk paint, and then I'm going to go in with some red in horizontal stripes. So I am using a fine detail paintbrush here to do this. I link in my description box down below a set that I like for fine details. But again, if you have a paint pen, you could do this exact same thing with a paint pen, and it would probably be a little bit easier. But I like to use my paintbrushes for my project. So I'll just paint that up the whole entire way, and I'll give it some sparkle and shine with that extreme glitter. So I had this little mitten gift card holder that I picked up from Walmart last year on clearance, and I'm going to use this for my project. If you don't have one of these mittens, you could definitely make something similar out of felt and just leave the top open, and then you can add in your little decorations just like you see me doing here. So I'm going to add my little gingerbread man that I painted up. again from 24 Hour Crafts, my little candy cane here from 24 Hour Crafts. And I do want to make sure that you guys understand and know that I am not affiliated with 24 Hour Crafts. I just really like their selection and have really enjoyed getting my wood cutouts from them. I also picked up this little candy that I painted to look like a peppermint. I will link that down below as well. It is listed under candy wood cutout in 24 Hour Crafts, not peppermint. So if you go to 24 Hour Crafts and you're looking for peppermint, you're not going to find this guy. But if you look under candy, you'll find it. So we just painted up to look like a peppermint. And then I just hot glued that to the front of my mitten here. Now I'm going to use some white gross grain ribbon. I am going to cut it at a deep angle so that I can pull it through the hole that is existing. If you didn't want to cut off the ribbon that was already on it, because you didn't have to, but I did just because I didn't really care for the ribbon that was on there. It was kind of flimsy and I felt like it would maybe snag on a tree easy. So I wanted to add a more durable and sturdy ribbon. And then of course I found this little bit of greenery. I thought, oh, he'll look cute in there too. So I add the greenery, the gingerbread man, and the candy cane all back in. And if you want to, you can hot glue this all down. I just put him in and I think he is super cute for our tree. All right, for our 10th and final gingerbread ornament DIY, we are going to make a little gingerbread house. So this project is a little more detailed, it's a little more involved, but it is very fun and really easy to do. So I'm going to start off with one of these wood planks from the Dollar Tree. I measured up 3 inches and made a line across. Then I measured up another 1 inch, and then I will find the center. So I'll place a mark on that 1 inch line from the 3 inch line. So it's actually 4 inches up. And then I will create a line from the center point down to that 3 inch line. Now I am going to cut this with a box knife. I had to go through that very, very many times. So if you have a hand saw or another way to cut this out, I definitely suggest it. Just a handsaw from Walmart for like 10 bucks. I have one of those. I just didn't think to use it. Would be a lot easier than the box knife. However, I did do it with the box knife and it did turn out very, very well. So you can use the box knife. So now I'm going to go in and take a jumbo popsicle stick. This isn't the jumbo size from Walmart. This is just a jumbo sized popsicle stick that you can pick up at any craft store or even the Dollar Tree, I think sometimes. But I am going to create my roof with this. So I measured my roof line there, and then I did the same on the other side. So I'm just making a little mark there, and then I will create a line for my box knife here. And I'll just go through that. It only takes like 3 or 4 swipes on these popsicle sticks with the box knife to cut those. So once we get that in there, I am going to give everything a good sand. And then I'm going to use some of this super glue, wood glue from the Dollar Tree to put my roof onto my gingerbread house. So you just have to hold it for a few minutes, and then you know, it sticks pretty quickly. So just hold it for a couple of minutes and then do the other side. And then I do go in with a little bit of hot glue just to reinforce everything. So, you know, that's the tedious part there, is just kind of holding that wood glue until it dries a little bit. But then once it dries a little bit, you can go in and reinforce it with the hot glue and everything's good. So, and I don't know if you guys can hear, but Oreo says hello. She is bothering me. I'm actually sitting in my pantry with the doors closed because this is a quiet space right now during the summer when my kids are home. I don't get a whole lot of places where I can have a little quiet time. And so you might be hearing some household noises as I'm doing this voiceover today. So I cut down some popsicle sticks. One I kept with the little end that's curved for the door, and then I just cut off a couple of more pieces that I'm going to make into windows. So you can make these whatever size you'd like, but I'm just going to paint them with this darker burnt umber color, and then I'll just hot glue those onto my house. Now I'm going to use some of this puffy paint, and I picked this one up from Walmart. I've had very good luck with it. I have used this for a number of years now, and so far it hasn't ever pulled up on me, and my projects have stayed looking nice. However, I do have to say that I do live in a cooler climate, so I don't get super hot here, and my garage stays pretty cool even on those hotter days. So if you're in an area where it gets really hot, it could be that your puff paint might pull up. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I've never had any issues with it. So I really like using the puff paint, and have had really good luck with it. So if you don't feel like using puff paint, you could do some hot glue with white glue sticks, or you could just paint on your design with a paintbrush or paint pen. But as you can see, I'm going to do some little crisscrosses on the top of the house, and then just do my windows and doors. Now I have this red rickrack in my stash. You can get rickrack anywhere: Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's, anywhere that they sell fabric and fabric notions, you can get rickrack. So that's a really fun element to use on gingerbread projects. It's just kind of a cute little element, and it looks like the frosting that you might add onto a gingerbread project. So I'm going to use red here, and I am just going to hot glue that along my roof line. Now that the main part of our house is done, we're going to create some accessories. I have this package of glue sticks, colored glue sticks that I picked up off of Amazon, and I'm going to use some green here. I don't want to use the entire glue stick, so I'm going to cut off a small portion using a straight blade. And that way I don't have to use that whole entire glue stick if I don't want to. And that helps prevent me from wasting glue or having to use green glue when I don't really want to. So I'm just going to put that through my hot glue gun, and I will squirt the colored glue into a silicone mold, and then once it dries, it's really a fun little accessory to put on stuff. You can do all kinds of things. Jackie from A Mimi's World uses this technique all the time, and I love some of the stuff she's come up with using this technique. And just trim off any extra bits, and you're good to go. Now for the fun part, decorating our house. So I'm going to add a little bow with that red and white ribbon from the Dollar Tree at the very front top of our house. And then I'm going to glue on a little green glue heart. Green hot glue heart. I don't know. To the front door there. You know what I mean. And I had made these little peppermint sticks out of polymer clay. I will link a video down below if you'd like to see how to do that. It's very simple, but it does require polymer clay. So if you don't have this on hand, get creative. You can add buttons along the side. You can add baker's twine. You can add all kinds of things. And then of course I made some little candy canes out of polymer clay too. There are a lot of sellers on Etsy that sell these little accessories like the peppermint, the little peppermints that you see me putting in the windows there, and then the candy canes. So if you want to pick some of those up, definitely check out Etsy. You can find a lot of small businesses that are working hard to create these fun little bits and pieces that you can use in your projects, and I'm sure that they would love to have your business. And you know, it's a great deal and you're supporting a small business. Then I'm going to add some of that extreme glitter all over the front and a hanger on the back. And now we have our little house ready for the Christmas season. So here is the final reveal of all of these super adorable ornaments on the Christmas tree. I love how each one of them turned out. I think that these would be so fun to personalize and give special gifts. How unique and wonderful would it be to receive one of these little gingerbread Christmas ornaments for a loved one? You could put them on a bag or a Christmas present, and what a way to dress it up. I cannot wait for the Christmas season to roll around so I can decorate my kitchen with all of these new fun Christmas gingerbread DIYs that I've created for you in the last 2 weeks. I have really enjoyed doing this, and I can't wait until the Christmas season rolls around. Yeah, you'll have to let me know if you have a favorite. I know sometimes that's hard to ask, but if you do, let me know. And if you don't, let me know. I think that this guy probably is my favorite, the little mug. I think he turned out super cute, but it is really hard to choose because they're all so adorable. And a quick little plug, if you have not joined me over at my Facebook group with my friend Lisa, definitely head over there. It is a free group that anybody can join, and we love to share what we are making in our crafts. I hope that you hit that like button today and subscribe if you're not already. And I can't wait to see you guys at the next video. Have a happy, healthy, and blessed day, and we'll see you next time. Bye!